Good to go.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thanks, sir.
I don't anticipate this being very long, Eric.
Okay, I'll be back.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Vanessa. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. We will call to order this special meeting of the Lawrence County Salary Board. Today is Tuesday, January 16, 2024. I will note that this meeting was advertised in accordance with the Sunshine Law. I believe the legal ad appeared on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. I also want to note that the Salary Board met in executive session on Tuesday, January 9, in advance of today's public meeting. So that we can establish that there's a quorum, and we'll note that the matter before us does involve the courts. So Judge Motto is here, and he becomes a temporary voting member of the board. But would you call the roll, please, Vanessa?
Controller Prestipine.
Here.
Commissioner Sinata.
Here.
Commissioner Kennedy.
Here.
Commissioner Vogler.
Here. Thank you. As we've noted many times in the past, the county code, the Pennsylvania County Code, stipulates that counties such as ours have a permanent board known as the Salary Board, which does consist of the 3 commissioners and the elected county controller. The role of the Salary Board is to either create or eliminate positions or change the rate of pay for positions in Lawrence County government specifically. This board does not hire people. It does not relieve people of their duties. And so as such, we never talk about the actual person. We talk about the position, the understanding that a week from now, the person holding that position might move along. You just never know. So we're here to talk about positions only. And when one of our elected officials, one of our row officers or the president judge have an issue that falls under their jurisdiction, they become a temporary voting member of this board. So today we do have a proposal before us involving the Domestic Relations Office. So accordingly, Judge Motto will be a voting member of this board. But before we move to that, first I am obligated to ask for any public comments. I'll open the floor for any public comments as it might relate to this particular Salary Board meeting. I will also note for the record that there are no members of the public with us. The folks who are in the room are all staff people or elected officials. And we'll, in case anyone should come in before we adjourn, we'll open the public comment period again. But in our packets, and this would be applicable to the 4 of us up front, we do have the minutes of the annual Salary Board meeting. That meeting was held back on January 2. And I'll give my colleagues the time they might need to look those minutes over. And whenever one of you might be ready, you could make a motion and get a second. We can approve the minutes at your convenience.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Mr. Prestipine, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Kennedy. Any questions or discussion regarding the minutes? Hearing none, I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll, please.
Controller Prestipine.
Yes.
Commissioner Sinata.
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy.
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa. As we noted, we do have a proposed resolution before us today. Vanessa, what number would we give? Number 11.
Yeah.
And judges, we always do. I would invite you to join us up front if you would like to.
And I always appreciate the invitation, but as usual, I'll decline.
That's quite all right. We appreciate your being here. And Judge, I will turn this over to you so that you can offer some background and a motion for us to consider the proposal that you've brought before us today.
Perhaps I could make the motion first, and if there's a second, then I'll give the explanation for it. So the motion would be, whereas the retirement has caused the need for the president judge to request adjustments to base rates within the office, now therefore be it resolved by the Lawrence County Salary Board that the base rate of the intake paternity supervisor be set at $45,000. The base rate for the enforcement supervisor be set at $45,000, and the base rate of the locate officer be set at $40,000, retroactive to July 2nd, 2024.
Your Honor, would that be January 2nd?
What did I say? Did I say February?
You said July.
I'm sorry, what did I think? I must be thinking about summer.
There you go.
January 2, 2020, January 2, 2024.
Thank you, Judge. And that is your motion?
That is my motion.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second to the judge's motion?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Sanada. Judge, you're in order to offer some background and explanation if you'd like.
The reason for this, we've had turnover in the domestic relations section by way of people retiring. And so when people have held positions for a great length of time and leave, they're replaced by people who come in at entry level. The problem becomes that the resolutions which established the base rate are outdated, would have been established years ago, and wouldn't be realistic in terms of what the current funding for that position would be. So new base rates need to be established. I think for one of these positions, we can't even find the original base rate. It was so long ago. But the good news is that for the most part, positions in the domestic relations sections are funded by the state at the rate of 66%. So, and then one of these positions, I believe it's the locate officer is fully funded. Is that right? Would be 100% funded by state and federal funds, so it wouldn't involve local tax money. Also, given the fact that people who have left these positions would have had such longevity and COLAs over the years, with these base rates that we're asking for the most part, these base rates will be less than what people who have just left these positions were earning. So even with establishing these rates at these levels, there should be a savings in your county budget in terms of what you budget for these positions. That's all I have.
Judge, thank you. I'll see if my colleagues have questions or comments, and I'll start with Commissioner Kennedy.
Pretty well explained to us. Excuse me. Pretty well explained to us. So.
Thank you so much. Controller Prestopine,
No, I'm good.
Commissioner Sanada.
I'm good. Judge Water, you were very thorough and you made your points eloquently.
Yeah, one point I did want to make, in picking out these amounts, these are consistent with what middle management has been making in various positions throughout the county. So.
Appreciate your noting that as well. I have no questions over and above what we've already discussed, so we do have a motion on the floor for approval of proposed resolution 11. It's been appropriately seconded, and if there are no other questions or comments, I could ask Vanessa to call the roll, please, including Judge Motto.
President Judge Motto,
Yes.
Controller Prestopine,
Yes.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes,
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Before we conclude, it does say new business on the agenda. However, the legal advertisement for this meeting was very narrow, very specific. The legal advertisement indicated that we would be considering this matter only. So technically, we can't consider any new business, but what we can do is see if my colleagues have any other closing comments that they would wish to make. Mr. Sanada?
no, I think everything was straightforward.
Thank you, sir. Controller Prestopine?
I'm good.
Commissioner Kennedy?
I'm also good.
Thank you. We did not have anybody else come in from the public, so while I'll ask for public comment, technically you folks are in the public, but you're also employed here, so you wear both hats. Do you have any public comments that you wish to make?
Thank you so much for your consideration.
Yes.
Certainly. Thank you. And I
appreciate it.
The people I'm referring to are the court administrator, Mike Acabone, and the director of our domestic relations office, Mary Kelly, along with our president judge. Your Honor, anything else?
Nothing else? Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Accordingly, then, I could entertain an adjournment motion.
I move that we adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Sanada. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Prestopine. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. The motion carries. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Bill's gonna wrap up the computer for us. You folks have a great day.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be here at the commissioners meeting, to